Hello all, Tony here from Carton Cloud with another one of Tony's tips. Now, during the busy time and the peak time coming up and leading up until Christmas, or even, throughout the year when we're very busy and we have an operations guy, normally me, and I would have been sitting there and I'm waiting for a truck to drive back from Dandenong and I'm in Laverton and he's leaving Dandenong at 8 o'clock at night and I know that I'm not going to see him for another 2 hours. So these sorts of times allow us as an operations guy or an operations lady to go in and do a bit of a health check and a bit of maintenance on Carton Cloud. Now, what I'm sort of talking about is, throughout the day, people should be accessing and looking at things like the dashboard. We get onto the dashboard and we can do some health checks here. We can come along and we can see that we've got some unallocated consignments, or we've got, addresses which need geocoding. And the thing about addresses which require geocoding is that it's actually not about the web app, but it's about the mobile app. So when an address is geocoded, it actually sends the driver to the right place, instead of it being, some reason, geocoding for Seattle in America. Right. Then, of course, one of the key things I sort of always think that a lot of people can oversee is unresolved consignment errors. So if we were to come in and have a look at our consignment errors, so these are errors which have been generated by truck drivers, and I believe that it needs to be somebody's job to go in and have a look at these on a daily basis. If it's before somebody leaves, or whether it's first thing in the morning is normally how I would run it. But first thing in the morning, somebody needs to come in, have a look at yesterday's consignment errors and go through and fix them, process them, update them to resolved, email the customer, find out what it is. I think a lot of the times people will put a consignment off or will void it because they don't know what's happening, or, and realistically it comes down to money. You guys need to make sure that you get the money in the door. And if you've got consignment errors there, they're blocking up invoicing and all the rest of it. So I just think that it's a good time to get on top of all of these little bits and pieces. So, things are always changing here at Carton Cloud. And if it gets a bit overwhelming and you want to reach out and you can always come through to our support team and book some onboarding time. Even if it's an hour, and grab your ops crew and say, okay, we just want to do a bit of a refresher. We may have onboarded somebody, a year ago, 2 years ago, and that person's gone and everybody else has just sort of taught themselves. Well, there's lots of tips and tricks, i.e. Tony's tips. But if you guys want to reach out to us and say, hey, look, can we book in a bit of a refresher? I've got a half a dozen guys here. I want to sit on a Zoom call and go through a few things. Write down the questions, ask the right things, know what they are. Get in contact with us, and we can go through and give a bit of a refresher, But like I say, keep an eye on the system, keep an eye on your dashboard, keep an eye on charge errors, and get on top of it. Like I say, we're always here to help. Cheers.